That was the closest I could get to a glass clinking because it's not really glass, but hello, everybody.
Hi, Michael.
I heard Russ. Where is he? There he is.
I'll take a picture.
It was 2 weeks after I bought my first house as a fifth bracket apprentice that I got laid off for the first time. I was working for PCS, and I'd spent the last 16 months on the federal courthouse on 8th and Stewart. I had won the apprenticeship contest a few months before that, and the bigwigs of the huge company that was PCS were showing up and taking me out to lunch. Near the end of the job, Gordy pulled me in the foreman's office and told me they were letting me go. That made an impact on me. I felt like I was just a number to them. I didn't know it yet, but that feeling was going to stick with me for years before I was able to start this company and focus on the employees first. This doesn't mean there isn't layoffs, that's part of the trade, but it means that when you're here, you're part of the family. Over the last 15 years, we've accomplished just that, but the bigger that we get, the harder it is. Tonight, I'm going to roll out our core values, which really just puts words behind what we've already been doing since we started. We're going to memorialize these words and bake them into everything we do. These core values define who we are and what makes us great. I'm going to spend about 10 minutes describing our core values to you. These aren't new. These are how we've been operating. This is just putting it into words. When I'm done, we'll walk through last year's financials, and then we'll look forward to the 10-year business plan, our 3-year plan, and next year's plan. Altogether, this is going to take about 20 minutes, so please settle in, be patient. I'm going to be around all night. If you've got any questions, feel free to come up and ask. And then when I'm done, we're going to have a nice dinner and a beautiful trapeze act, so please be patient with me here. Our core values are in our name, APS. APS stands for A, authentic relationships. P is for passionate pursuit. And S is for servant leaders. We'll start with authentic relationships. When we are intentional about relationships with the people that we work with, then we will enjoy the time that we spend at work. In many cases, we spend more time with the people that we work with than we do our actual family. I know I do. Authentic relationship is time together, asking curious questions, seeing how someone is feeling, and caring about what is going on in their life. Getting to know them and being a friend when they need one. As a company, we put our money where our mouth is on this by creating opportunities outside of work to get to know each other. This is the Appreciation Day sports tournament each year, this company party. Fishing trips, hunting trips, camping trips, family skate night, pumpkin patch day, management retreats, and all the sports games like the Sounders and the Seahawks and the Silvertips and the Thunderbirds. I encourage you to lean into these opportunities. Put yourself out there, get to know your coworkers. You won't be best friends with everybody here, but I hope that a couple of your best friends work here. At a minimum, I hope that we can trust and respect everyone here as fellow teammates. Get signed up on the company's private Facebook group to find out more about these events that we put on every year. If you're not on the private Facebook group, track down me or Sam right there. And let her know your name. We'll get you on that private group. That's where we post all the information when these events are coming up. You can also post pictures of the job site you're working on, what you're building, if you're looking for a carpool. I think a best example that we have as a company right now of authentic relationships would be Tim Fant. I think he exemplifies that. Stand up, Joe. There you go. He does. Our second core value is passionate pursuit. Whether it's passionate about being the best, passion about working for the best company, passion about authentic relationships, or passionate pursuit of bettering your skills, we are a company of passionate people. Chris Desi, a branding expert and author, said, whether in business, politics, or entertainment, folks with passion have the ability to cause a stir, get our hearts beating, and spark passion in us as well. The 20 essential habits of highly passionate people say, passionate people aren't just lucky. They share common characteristics. They work hard, they trust their intuition, and they persevere. Nothing special is required. You don't have to be gifted. You don't need permission. You can follow what makes you come alive. If we keep the essence of passion about our jobs and about our work and about how we treat each other and bring that to work with us every day, can you feel how much better it would be at work every day? We don't want to just make our company great. We want to impact the industry and change the world. I would encourage you all, no matter if you're working here or if we get slow or got slow and you're working somewhere else, to take these core values with you and change that company too. All it takes is a drop in the pond to make ripples and affect change in a big way. This is all about the legacy we leave on the industry and really the world. I think Adam Showalter is a perfect example of this core value. The final value of the APS way is servant leadership. Wikipedia describes servant leadership like this. Servant leadership is a leadership philosophy in which the goal of the leader is to serve. Instead of the people working to serve the leader exists to serve the people. Servant leaders selflessly want to see each person around us succeed. It means leading by example with our humility, kindness, and compassion, even when we need to be firm and resolute. I love this philosophy. It's such a subtle twist in how we interact with people, but it leaves such a gigantic impact on how that person feels when they leave the interaction. It is being a leader, not being their boss. It means the leaders are part of the team, each member pulling the sled of a task of whatever it is they are trying to accomplish equally on our backs with our blood and tears. Servant leaders aren't in the sled cracking a whip to make everyone go faster while we add weight to the cart, but instead we are there with a harness on, pushing the cart forward by doing our portion of the work right along with the rest of the team. True servant leaders elevate each other, knowing that without the greater good, there is no independent good. Servant leadership is fundamental from apprentices all the way up to owners. It's being a leader and not acting like someone's boss. Here are some key differences between being a leader and being a boss. A boss issues ultimatums. A leader generates enthusiasm. A boss says I statements, and leaders use we statements. Bosses take credit, leaders give credit, and bosses place blame, whereas leaders accept the blame. These are all subtle differences that either add weight to the sleigh for others to push, or it means picking up the reins and moving them together. These subtle differences impact how each of us feel when we are at work, when we're on our way home from work, and when we are at home with our families. We are all serving each other, and we know we are needed and valuable and part of something bigger than ourselves. Edgar Benavides is someone who embodies this core value. Where is Edgar? There he is. Yeah. In closing, I will say these core values are stitched into the fabric of who we are. Next year at this party, we will have an award category for each of these core values be thinking about who you want to nominate next year as most representing of these core values of authentic relationships, passionate pursuit, and servant leadership. Last year, the winners got to go with us to Cabo for the management retreat. This year, they will come with us to Arizona and the Northwest Wall and Ceiling Convention. These core values are what make us unique. This is what separates us from the PCIs and the expert drywalls of the industry. Not that those are bad companies, they aren't. Actually, they're really good companies. But these core values take us from being good to being great. If we can all be leaders that serve each other with passion and authenticity, the power that we will have as a collective is going to be enough to change this industry and the lives of everyone who works here. So that's the core values. Isn't that exciting? All right, so we are going to go over financials real quick. Every year we always touch on the numbers. Last year's numbers are record-setting in sales. So there's good news and bad news to mix. We had in 2000, I'm kind of going off of memory here because I didn't take very good notes. But to go off of memory, 2019 we did around 31 million in sales. 2020 we did 32 million. And 2021 we are sitting right around 47 million in sales. So that it's about a 50% growth in 1 year, which technically is like more than we want to grow. 20% growth in a year is pretty good. 50% growth is like, whatever, bring it, we got this. In that growth, there's been challenges, there's been opportunities. Our gross margins have slipped a lot. Our gross margins historically have been 17%. Currently, we're more around 9%. And our net profits last year were around 8%. This year, we're going to be around 2.5%. So it's a lot slimmer of margins. The saving grace on that has been the government's recognized all the challenges with COVID, and there was programs that got put out to help businesses continue to succeed. So when COVID set in, our inclination would have been to pull back, save our money, not bid big stuff, but the PPP program came out, the ERC program came out, and we were able to keep pushing forward, bidding, hiring more people, knowing that we were going to take the hit in the margins. So the reduction in margins isn't a surprise. It's all supply chain issues, getting exposed to COVID and having to quarantine, the impacts to workflow and production, the fact that every day we're just thinking about how to do our jobs with COVID and wear masks and stay 6 feet apart instead of thinking about how can we get this done fast, which is what we've always thought about in the past. Hopefully next year we can get back to thinking about how can we do this fast because there's no more government programs. This administration is not going to do us any favors. So last year was a gift and a blessing. And we took it, we doubled down, and we were continuing to grow. Our 10-year plan is simple. We plan to be the biggest drywall company in 3 states by this time in 2031. Washington is first, which we expect to accomplish in 3 years. We are currently the 4th largest drywaller. We're going to be the 3rd largest drywaller very soon. Oregon is next, which is on a 5 to 7 year timeline, being led by Brian Collins. Where's Brian at? There he is. And the 3rd is TBD. Could be Alaska, it could be Hawaii, it could be, I kind of got my eyes on Vancouver, Canada. That's not a state. The 3rd state, ding dong. Canada's looking pretty ripe for the picking right now. Our 3-year plan is a little more tactical and specific. By this time in 2024, we expect our revenue to be at 80 million. We hope to keep a profit margin of 8.5, and we will have hung 687,000 sheets of drywall that year. The 9 employees that were part of the original 12 will still be here, which is Jesus Guerrero, Victor Cerda, Armando Lopez, Donaciano Guerrero, Saul Flores, Cipriano Blanco, Jose Ramos, Jorge Gutierrez, and Jose Larios. If anyone was ever concerned that these folks might get special treatment, you're fucking A right they do. Those guys have been with me through the thick and the thin, and I'll be here for them too. We will continue with the longevity perks, and the guys coming up behind them with lots of hours, like Alec Dahlman, Misa and Jose Vasquez, Zach Flores, Russ Bogus, Donnie Nicholson, Felipe Avila, Oscar and Sev, Pedro Lopez, Dan Lakey, Mark Wilson, saw Mark, Sebastian Sadler, Carlos Nunez, Hugo Pedrosa, Luis Sanchez, and both Jose Perez's, Luis Hernandez, Dallas, and Hugo Arenas. Core guys, all of them. We will continue to be known as the company with the best culture in the industry, the largest profit-sharing plan, the most annual events and get-togethers, the most community involvement, and giving back. We will continue to have the most learning opportunities through Alliance Academy for certifications and trainings and the best safety record in EMR and drywall. We will continue with gym member reimbursements, and we will be around 300 strong in the field. We'll have 5 offices throughout Washington and Oregon. Yeah, that's 5. Count them. We will continue to promote and reward loyalty and years of service with the only company in the trade to have seniority raises and tiering up of bonuses based on hours worked for the company. We will continue to encourage work-life balances and involving the family in what you do and who your coworkers are. We will promote and encourage relationships and passion, and servant leaders will rise to the top with new opportunities as we continue to grow and look for leaders. Our one-year plan. Our current backlog is $52,334,000. This time last year it was $47,053,000, and the year before that it was $29,815,000. We also have a number of outstanding bids that look like they're going to turn into awards in the range of $4 million at a minimum and $30 million at the top end. Our target for sales this year is $60 million, which is 20% growth from last year. But more important than those numbers is the shift in thinking that is happening this year. This is really a pivotal year for us as a company. This is the year that we change our mindset from being a small company to being a large company, and recognizing that we are the 4th largest and soon to be 3rd in the industry. We have fallen into this just by being who we are and intentionally fostering guys this year who have stood out, such as Alec Dahlman, Edgar Benavides, Jose Castaneda, as well as attracting the right people and the right talent from other companies that want to come be part of what we're building here. People like Nicole Linscott, who came on recently from Annie Johnson. Where's Nicole? Right there. And Megan Pfeifers came from WPI. Where's Megan? Megan's over there too. And Jeff Stevens, who came on from Sessler, right there. And Derek Veers, who came on from Neville. Where are you at, Derek? Derek right there. Neville is California's largest drywall company, and Derek has quickly moved up to being the director of estimating at our company. These are top performers at each of those companies that are now part of this team, building it up and continuing the growth. We brought in Christy Carl with 14 years of HR experience in the trade. And the promotion of Seneca Bryant towards controller, the promotion of Sam Keppen to office manager. and Brian Collins, who came on from BEK and is now heading up our Portland operations. Where is Brian? There's Brian. Craig Tolbert, Tim Sharp, and Julian Cruz are examples of 3 foreman rock stars that have came on board with us from other companies. And as long as we keep growing, we will continue to internally promote those that show passion and ambition. As long as our culture stays strong and we adhere to these core values that we just talked about, we will continue to attract the industry's top talent. Not everyone can handle the growth, and not everyone will fit into our core values. We've lost some key people along the way, and every one of them has been like losing a family member. We lost John Bryant and Jeremiah Hikes and Lupe and Steve. These are not ideal. We do not want to lose any of our family. But as the owner, founder, and CEO of this company, I am passionately committed to our growth goals and to our vision for not just being the best, because we are already the best, but also being the biggest and continuing to take over the market share of this industry. I will not let hard decisions get in the way of that. We will decisively and committedly continue to do what needs to be done to maintain our core values and to promote growth. In that is a world of opportunities for each of you and for us as a company, and this is the year that we need to get it right. This is the year we get more professional, where we implement needed tracking to support growth. You will see out in the field production tracking implemented this year. This isn't to find out who sucks, kind of. It's not a personal attack. This is because we need the data to know how each of these jobs are doing and if it will or won't make money. It's not necessarily the worker's fault. It could be a bad estimate. It could be bad conditions. But if we don't know it, our financial records mean nothing. So this year, the focus is going to be implementing a system to track productions. Without this information, we don't have reliable financial statements. Our credit worthiness with the bank is diminished. We could lose our line of credit and our ability to bond jobs. We absolutely must understand our costs and where the jobs are at. So there's a huge push this year to change our PM's mindset from firefighting drills to financially tracking every dollar spent. Budgets and projections are the key function of this role, which means more responsibility is coming down to the field level for ordering steel and reviewing RFIs and participating in the creation of the budgets so that the time entered is going into the right buckets 100% of the time. We need the information to flow back to estimating on what productions we are getting so we can perfect our bidding in a changing COVID environment. Foremen will be gauged on their ability to maintain safety documents, track productions, keep up with the dailies, properly fill out EWAs, and track productions. Did I mention we will be tracking productions? This is a crucial part of 2022. In order to continue doing these large projects, we need to know when we are 15% complete on the job, if the job is going to make money or not. We can only do this by tracking productions. If you see someone measuring your work, please don't be offended. This is not about you. This is us needing the data of the rates that we are getting. So in closing, I think it's safe to say there's a lot going on this year. We have a solid backlog. We have a lot of new talent. We have a lot of new challenges. But most of all, we have 3 core values we can now use to weigh every day-to-day decision: authentic relationships, passionate pursuit, servant leadership. 2022 has the opportunity to be the best year that we've ever had as a company. 2022 has the opportunity to be your best year. So I'm calling 2022 the year of opportunity. Thank you for your time and enjoy your dinner.